A blockbuster kit launch turned into one of the most awkward poor moments of the season. Nike, Barcelona's partner of nearly 3 decades, poured energy and expectation into a new 2025-26 collection. A return to the classic Blaugrana, a bold yellow shirt paying tribute to Kobe Bryant, and a vivid orange homage to the total 90 era, only to have La Liga's kit selector rules slam the brakes on every planned premiere in the first 2 league fixtures. What should have been a marketing crescendo instead became a stunned silence in the stands as Barça trotted out last season's green third shirt against both Mallorca and Levante, leaving fans, influencers and retail partners frustrated and asking how a top club and a global brand were outmaneuvered by an app. The process that decides who wears what on match day is blunt and, critics would say, unforgiving. Both teams upload their intended kits into La Liga's kit selector app, and the algorithm and match officials approve the final combination. In Barcelona's case, the regulator judged that none of the 3 new shirts could safely coexist with the opposition's colours in those fixtures. The designs were deemed too similar or at risk of causing confusion, so regulation trumped showmanship and Barça were forced back into familiar green. For Nike, the cost was immediate. 2 lost opportunities to showcase a heavily promoted line at the exact moment millions of viewers were watching, a disrupted merchandising calendar, and the social media narrative of a brand humiliated on launch day. For fans, it felt like a betrayal of expectation. Supporters who had ordered shirts or been promised a fresh look were left waiting while merchandise shelves and marketing plans took an unplanned hit. But the story took a small turn when approval finally arrived for the home shirt to make its debut in Vallecas against Rayo Vallecano, a fixture whose white and red home colours eliminated the clash risk and allowed the Blaugrana to step back into the spotlight. That relief doesn't erase the broader implications. This episode exposes how tightly regulated modern football has become, how technology and rules can override commercial strategy, and how fragile a brand launch is when it depends on fast-moving regulatory checks. It also raises questions about the playbook between club and supplier. After 27 years of collaboration, is this a temporary hiccup in Barcelona's long relationship with Nike, or a sign that launch strategies will need new contingency plans to avoid public missteps? Social channels predictably filled with memes and hot takes, with fans split between sympathy for Nike's wasted effort and irritation at Barcelona for not anticipating the selectors' ruling. Analysts point to lost momentum in the merchandising cycle. The first matches of the season are usually the peak window for new kit sales and visibility, and note that a delayed debut reduces the cultural impact that Nike and Barça were clearly chasing with a Kobe tribute and a nostalgic throwback. Still, practical resolution arrived. The Vallecas debut allowed the club to finally show the home design on the field, and for Nike a public return to form, even if 2 high-profile showings were missed. Looking ahead, the episode is likely to be a case study for clubs, brands and league administrators on aligning compliance, commerce and creative timing, with teams now more likely to double-check kit uploads and include regulatory contingency in launch calendar. For supporters, the real verdict will be what the new shirts look like on the pitch and whether the designs live up to the hype. But for one dramatic week, the headlines were less about style and more about protocol. A reminder that in today's football business, even the smallest pixels of colour must pass through a machine before the roar of the crowd.